Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Podcast Free Skate Friday, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 rated sportsbook app out there. I'm your host, Rudo, joined as always by AJ Hafley and Evan Rowell to talk some Avs hockey, to talk some general hockey, and to be very bad at guessing how much things cost a little bit later in the show. Can't wait for it, but let's start off, first of all, Evan. We haven't had you on to talk about the series yet. Your thoughts on what is a 2-1 series in Dallas's favor so far?
I would just say it's more disappointing than anything, just because the Avs have had leads in every game and basically have crumbled at certain points. So I still think they're very much in it, assuming Frankie can get it together, because it's not sustainable to continue to have to score 5-6 goals to win a game.
Yep.
But Khudobin looked leaky last game, and that's where I think the Avs should start, get a little bit of confidence that they can take advantage of some things here.
Yeah, the Avs kind of broke through on offense in Game 3, obviously, scoring 6 goals, but they got production from their depth, they got production from their defense, a little bit more well-rounded in that regard. I agree with you. Frankie's got to be better. AJ, I think, talked about it a little bit, said, look, if you want to win a 4-game series, your goalie's got to steal you at least one. So,
yeah, unless you're playing the Coyotes, then you're good. But, yeah, most teams at this point especially, you got to get one.
Yeah. No easy outs.
It's honestly weird that, you look at the other series out west, and it's Markstrom, who's, one of the breakout goaltender stars of the season. And then you have the two-headed, whatever they call that, with Fleury and Lehner, where it's on any given day, either one of those guys could be either really good or just terrible. But they both have enough upside that playing each one of them, you can totally talk yourself into. And then over in the other series, it's backup goalies. It's like two backup goalies who had great regular seasons. And then
trying to stave off regression at this point.
Yeah, well, and in the postseason so far, they both have just been okay. Where you're because Anton Khudobin, he had a .930 save percentage in 40 plus games this year. He was awesome.
Yep.
But you never really got that this entire time in the bubble. You've never gotten that vibe of
this guy's standing on his head.
This guy's dominant, yeah. You never got the Darcy Kemper vibes, where Darcy Kemper's numbers ended up trash because they just got destroyed. But you knew that man was alone.
Yeah.
And with Khudobin, it's been he's been okay. The Avs have not they scored what, 5 goals in the first couple in the first 2 games, and then 6 in the third.
Yep.
So it's not as if they've got they've had the hardest time in the world beating him, and it's not it wasn't the game where they scored 2 on the power play and that was it, but they did it on 55 shots where you were just oh my god, this guy's keeping a minute. It was just. It's been such mediocre goaltending in the series, and I think that was one thing I did not expect coming in.
Yeah, it's certainly. I wasn't sure what to expect out of the goaltending. One, because it wasn't exactly clear how healthy Ben Bishop was.
Yeah,
but it seems like Bishop not likely to play in this series at all at this point.
I mean, he's not even sitting on the bench. If something happens to Khudobin, Jake Ottinger's their guy. He's not they're straight up, whatever's wrong with him, they're not even putting him
out there. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not even fit to sit on the bench and just in case go in and play.
This
Like if something were to happen to Khudobin, they could be in like real trouble. Like just like the Avs. Like
this series is a couple of groin pulls away from Jake Ottinger versus Michael Hutchinson. Like,
which I don't know.
I mean,
I don't want that. I think the Avs come out on the wrong end of that.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'd play Miska, but
I mean, we know that won't happen.
I know it won't, but it's danger zone in net, to say the least. If you see Frankie coming up limping, everyone's going to be going, "Oh no."
Well, and there have been a couple of scrambles around the Dallas net where Khudobin's been a little slower to get up. Where you never know with goaltenders, is he just like taking a second to be like, "Can you guys please get out of my crease?" Or is it like, "Oh my god, I'm hurt.
Please make it stop."
Like, yeah,
that was always with Varley. Whenever he'd be slow to get up,
yeah.
Let me tell you,
again,
it's still true. I still when I'm watching him and like he'll have that like he'll take the extra half second, he'll because he'll like do the splits or something and then it'll be and you're like, oh no, like is it
not again?
Did the groin just go out on him, or oh my god, like what's going on here? So I just think it's funny that like this series is like the battle of the backups, and it's highly likely that whichever team emerges from this series, their backup is going to either go up against the experience of Lehner and Fleury, or they're going up against Markstrom, who's had a career year and is like maybe like the number one reason that Vancouver's even where they are at this point.
I mean, sure, the Avs have to deal with their backup goalie, but only one goaltender has had a photoshopped image of them getting run through by a sword posted by their agent.
Dude.
Oh, I didn't see that. It said DeBoer on the
That was honestly, what a great touch.
Wow. Yeah, I did not notice that the first like 10 times I looked at it.
Yeah.
That's subtle.
Yeah, Alan Walsh really I would hire that guy to be my agent.
After that move.
I mean, the guy spends every single night on Twitter pumping his clients' tires. And it's funny because I'm I joke, I'm like, oh, like we're not gonna see Alan Walsh tweet about Fleury tonight, when he gives up 7 goals, and he just doesn't say anything, and it'll be the same Vegas game where Fleury gives up 7 goals, but Pacioretty scores twice, and he'll tweet out the clips of the goals from Pacioretty and won't say anything else, and it's just like you gotta love that guy, like he's all in on his clients. He spends his time on Twitter like, my guys are awesome. Look at them go. Like, ignore everything bad about Jonathan Drouin. Every time he scores, he's like, Jonathan Drouin doing it again. You gotta love that guy. Like, that guy is all in your corner.
Flav or what?
The hockey world version of what is that? The Kardashian mom. You're doing great, sweetie.
I don't watch the Kardashians.
It's a meme. I don't watch the show either.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
If you go on Twitter, you'll see it.
Today we're learning things.
I consider myself pretty well versed in memes, and I've never seen that meme.
Evan watches the Kardashians, and I understood Flava Flav. I got that one.
Yeah, the hype man.
Yeah. And then you think about the idea of Alan Walsh sitting there with the giant clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Wearing the huge clock.
Does he represent anyone on the Avs?
There used to be that site where you could find out, but
yeah,
I don't feel like he does. But
I don't know. I'll look it up. But
sure.
Anyway, it has been interesting this postseason to watch how the goaltending is just sort of.
He does not
all over the place.
Anyone on the Avs, but he does represent Faxa, Polak, and Sekera on the Stars.
Polak doesn't count anymore.
So he represents quite a few players. A lot of teams on here, but no Avs specifically. And I guess a lot of these are like league minimum kind of stuff. But
a huge range of guys too.
Yep. Fleury, Patches, Huberto at the top.
Yeah.
And then like all the way down to I don't even
Anyway,
know.
we have people in our chat asking about Varley versus Gruby, and I would like to say that I was not glad, but when Varley got pulled, that conversation kind of died down a little bit, because there was almost nobody, and I mean almost nobody, making the argument to keep Varley last year. And certainly I did not see a single person make the argument to keep Varley over Grubauer. And so to have that conversation today is like that, like super hindsighting. This is not realistic. This was not going to happen. That guy went out and got him a 5-year deal worth $5 million in free agency
in the perfect spot.
Like Colorado wasn't going to come within 400 miles of that contract.
Ignoring the contract situation, the reason the Avs moved on from Varley was never his play. It was his health.
And it was honestly, it was that he wanted certain money.
Yeah, and the Avs
he got it. Like he got it.
The Avs weren't going to pay him $5 million for 5 years to have him pull his groin.
They weren't going to pay him $5 million for 2 years.
Fair enough.
Like that, it just wasn't going to happen. The goaltender position has become one of the most cost-efficient positions in all of the NHL, and you saw that this year. What did the Avs pay for top 10 goaltending league-wide? What did they pay?
Like $4 million?
It was like, it was just under $5 million. Like, you don't need, and like Varley was great for the Islanders, but they paid that alone. The between Varlamov and Greiss, they were paying like 8-something in goaltending.
Yep.
Which is in the upper echelon of the league. Like you can find cost-efficient goaltending in the NHL. And it's all over the place. I think that the days of true dominant starters, like, they're not gone because you still have them, but I think the need to have one to be a cup contender is gone.
Yeah,
I don't think you have to go out and get like a star goaltender to be a contender anymore.
Honestly, you're going all the way back to even like Tim Thomas's run with the Bruins,
which fell out of nowhere.
Yeah, any goaltender can have a Stanley Cup winning season. You don't need a superstar. Jordan Binnington last year, just
perfect example.
Off. And I mean, look what happened to him this season. It's
exactly
why pay for a position where you can just get someone who gets hot and can run the gamut at best. We've had this conversation before, but unless it's someone of the upper echelon in consistency when it comes in goal, like a John Gibson, there's a too high of a chance that you're not going to get your money's worth by paying for that spot.
Yeah, and like a guy like Gibson,
his contract is extremely reasonable.
Yeah. Right, like the deal is reasonable, and a big part of that is that his age, you factor in the age.
Yep.
Like what are we talking about with Carey Price's deal? And one reason why it's such an atrocious contract is that it's his whole 30s.
When you're paying a 35-year-old $10 million, doesn't feel good for the team, certainly.
Ask how the Rangers feel about that. Paying Lundqvist at 30, what is he, 37, 38? They paid him $8.5 million to feel like they had to play him in the qualifying round, and then they pulled him.
Yep.
Like, it's just, I mean, that's just bad business. That's blatantly bad business. And with a guy like Gibson, who's at, what is he in, like $5.8 million or something like that through basically his entire 20s?
Yeah.
Done. Like, done. But for arguably a top 5 goaltender, but who did have a tough year, but But Gibson is a guy who is cost controlled with a track record with his prime in front of him. Yeah. So like it's the perfect combination, because in Tampa they've got Vasilevsky's great too. He's got the track record. He's won awards. He's been elite, but now he's also getting paid for that.
Right.
Like he has to be that guy now.
Yep.
So where the Avs are is an interesting position because Grubauer's got 1 year left on his deal. There's no way they can extend him this summer, in my opinion. Because what do you pay him? Can you comfortably give him a deal?
And now you're worried about now you're worried about all these injuries.
Right. This is the third time he's been hurt this year. And this one, you understand Ian Cole runs into him and hurts him, and you're like, damn, that's bad luck. But this is the third time he's been hurt, and the second time where
it's just a freak kind of thing.
Where you're just like, well, now you're just worried this dude's brittle.
Yeah. And even when healthy, he's had stretches of playing well, but it's not like he's gone out and slam dunked a starting goaltender job either. So,
like Pavel Francouz has done nothing in this series to convince anybody that he's a starting goaltender. But it's also not like the team in front of him has been so good that you're just like, Jesus, this guy, it's been frustrating. There have been some goals where you're like, I thought Jared Bentner said it best when he said he's been okay.
That game was weird. Like, he made some ridiculous saves.
Like that paddle save he made on Joe Pavelski is crazy.
Nuts save, but then he gets beat 7-hole by Blake Como, and it's like, come on.
Well, the one-timer one was like, he had no idea that puck was even going over there, and that was where I was like, well,
you
did not read that at all.
Yeah. Well, that was our criticism, was that it was a poor read. And and like the Jamie Benn, I watched that thing in slow-mo. Do you see it went off both of his legs?
Yeah. Hit like the back of his calf and then off of his leg.
Yeah. And it hits off both of them, and then it just goes high glove. And the problem there is that he doesn't track the puck at all because he's just standing there like this. And it just flies in over his glove, and he goes,
doesn't even react. Yeah.
Dang it. And you're just like, okay, he has no idea where the puck is. So we're talking no confidence whatsoever that Pavel Francouz is a starting goaltender right now. The regular season was great. He had the shutout against Dallas in the round robin, but then since he's come in this series, he hasn't been any good. And so, you go into this offseason. We've talked about the Matt Murray thing, the Grubauer Matt Murray. Do the Avs make the play for him there, knowing that Pittsburgh's trying to get out of that contract and trying to save some money? Do they? And not that Matt Murray is like an obvious upgrade either. The guy has plenty of his own problems in losing his job in Pittsburgh. And so it's, where do you go with that position? Assuming that Frankie doesn't all of a sudden lock it down and lead you to a Stanley Cup and have an all-time great performance in doing so, where do you go with that position? Because it's just, do you even do anything? Do you just say, hey, we'll run it back with these two? We had great regular season success, and then our guy got hurt.
Waiting on Justus.
I mean, yeah, how much faith do the Avs have in their prospects? Do they believe at the end of next season, is Adam Warner ready to be an NHL backup anyway? How many years away is Annunen realistically? These are questions they have to answer when they come up with whatever they want to do at that position. But
yeah, I mean, Toronto the other day, Freddie Anderson's name came up on the Leafs are trying to clear out money to help fix their defense, and Freddie Anderson's one of the guys that they've talked about. He's making $5 million going into the last year of his deal, something like that. Freddie Anderson's been really, really solid for them. You put him behind a better defensive team, a better team in general. How do you, does he respond? Is that min-maxing? What does it cost in trade? You're probably going to have to give up Grubauer, but that's okay because you're getting Freddie Anderson to improve upon the position.
Mm-hmm. Freddie Anderson's big problem in Toronto.
Classic
he plays every game.
Classic Joe Sakic, going back to the well of teams he's abused in trades previously. All right. Well, we've been talking for 20 minutes, so we do have to take our first period break here. Time to acknowledge Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Whether you want the Avalanche Amber, the Mile High City, the Agave Wheat, you name it, you can pick them up. 8 different types on tap at the DNVR bar. If you want to get it from us, come hang out. RSVP for all of the upcoming playoff and non-playoff games. Or you can get it from the source at the farmhouse down in Littleton. Any type of beer you like, they have one for everybody. I'm talking about dozens of different types of beers from Breckenridge. So jump on one you like. I know Evan's always drinking the Mountain Beach over there. He probably has one right now.
There it is.
That. See, I'm not the only one drinking beers all the time on the show, but either way, pick it up. Breckenridge Brewery, their beer locator online can get you to the closest store that has it near you. And of course, our DraftKings pick of the week. Believe we all took a hockey one this time. AJ and I, well, Ed, let's start with Evan because he went the least risky, sort of. Evan's taken Boston to beat Tampa Bay and cover 1.5.
Yeah, mainly because I read it wrong. But yeah, I think Boston's coming back. I feel like that's a pretty safe bet to me. They're a veteran team. They're gonna bounce back from getting beat down pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to bounce up off the pavement and hit it again. So,
okay. Well, I was right last week, so I'll stick with. I'm going to say I'll be right again.
fair enough.
Be right until you're wrong, baby. I am taking a more specific bet of David Pastrnak to score the first goal in that game at plus 800. And AJ is in direct opposition to me, taking Braden Point to score that goal at plus 1050.
Mm-hmm.
Any way you want to hack it, you can bet on game specifics, you can bet on goal specifics, you can bet on player specifics when it comes to DraftKings Sportsbook. First goal, last goal, game-winning goal, just to score a goal in general. If you want to bet on a hockey player, that you can do. You can bet on periods, you can bet on overtime, you can bet on it all. So head on over to DraftKings Sportsbook. Be sure to sign up today with code DNVR. When you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use that promo code, you can claim your share of $100 million in instant giveaways and put yourself in the running for a $1 million top prize. That's promo code DNVR to get your share of that $100 million in prizes only at DraftKings. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Other terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Second period of Free Skate Friday with Rudo, AJ, and Evan. So the meat of the conversation we wanted to get into, I actually didn't know we were going to talk about goalies today. It's just kind of where we ended up. The conversation we were planning to have all season long, we've been talking about how it just kind of made sense that Nikita Zadorov was the odd man out on defense. And throughout these playoffs, we've seen the Avs defense be a little bit all over the place. Obviously, EJ's injury has a lot to do with that, but a theory, an idea that has come up throughout the season is, how much of a believer are you in Ryan Graves? Clearly, I think we all agree that he's an NHL caliber defenseman, but the idea of potentially selling high on a player like that has come up. We've seen him struggle quite a bit throughout these playoffs so far. Is there a world where Nikita Zadorov sticks on this team and makes sense to stick on this team through this next offseason?
I'll let the big Zadorov fan go first.
I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that I think Z, even if he has a good playoff, is gone. Because cost-wise, you can even see it. We think Graves is struggling. The coaching staff doesn't stop playing him. You know, he played 25 minutes last game, so
that's how it's gonna have to be with Eric Johnson out. I mean, that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. I was concerned when we did before the bubble. We had predictions, and my take with Ryan Graves was the momentum he created during the season was going to hit the wall pretty hard in this postseason, and that's kind of what's happened. It's really disheartening when the puck is in the offensive zone with McKinnon, Makar, all those guys on the ice, and it just continues ending up on Graves' stick, and plays just die. Yeah. And I think we've seen that obviously I don't think any of us really thought he's a top pairing defenseman, but we've really seen that this is not a long-term thing, that he's going to be Makar's partner. With Zadorov, I thought he was fine in the first round. Like, I had so many people hitting me up like, why isn't he hit anymore? Why, he never plays physical. I'm like, what are you guys watching? Like,
yeah,
he can't. People want him to go out of his way to hit.
And then he goes out of his way, and everyone gets mad about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's like the Klingberg hit the other night. Like, yeah, he should have gotten the puck, but the coaching staff is in his ear saying, you have to hit people. Like, that's what you're here for. So that's what he's thinking. But he was physical in the first round. He's been physical this series. I think he's been fine. It's just realistically, money-wise, I think they're going to pick between one of the two. And if it comes down to it, I think we know that the staff, just based on everything this year, prefers Ryan Graves.
Yeah, that's really, I think that's the crux of the conversation, because you can, like, Zadorov is, when he's playing well, like we saw the other day, he's playing really well. But with Graves, Graves is much better than Jeff Finger ever was. Like, much better. You're misremembering Jeff Finger as an NHL player, like Toronto did.
Yeah, so did Toronto. I was gonna
say. Like, Graves is okay, but Graves signing for, if you can get, even if both guys are at their absolute best, and you can get 80% of what Zadorov brings you with Graves, but you get that consistency through the season and nowhere near the peaks and valleys that you have with Zadorov, and you get it at, say, $2 million, $2.5 million, versus Zadorov, who's already pushed his way into the $4 million range. And that's as an RFA. He's got one RFA year left, and then he's an unrestricted free agent. Somebody's going to give that guy Dmitry Kulikov's contract. Like, somebody's just going to do it. And that's too much money for a guy that you're talking about as a third pairing guy that is sometimes spectacular for you and is sometimes the number one reason you lose a game. Like, truly, truly abysmal. And anywhere in between on any given night. Like, the lack of consistency is just, it's so frustrating. But even when Graves is struggling, nowhere near as bad as it gets with Zadorov when he has his, like, bad nights.
I will say, and I guess I'll play devil's advocate a little bit here, but I do think Zadorov is probably gone when it comes down to it. But Ryan Graves has been exposed a little bit.
Yeah,
these playoffs. I think people are starting to understand the idea of, the skating might be an issue. He's been caught up the ice multiple times. He's gotten beat with players in behind him multiple times in these playoffs.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about it after game one, where when the Avs structure starts to get broken down, he just looks lost.
Yeah, and in the playoffs, in a best of 7 series, teams can attack that too. In a regular season, teams might be like, okay, well, if we have a chance, we'll try and take advantage of this guy. But in a 7-game series,
right,
they're gonna, Dallas is gonna throw out a guy like Denis Gurianov against Ryan Graves and try and stress him and try and put pressure on that skating and try to take advantage of that mismatch there.
And they have enough time, they have enough film to look at, and they can go, all right, in situation X, Ryan Graves is going to step up and be out of position, and we can abuse that again and again and again and again.
Right.
As opposed to, okay, we just got done playing whoever 2 nights ago, and now we're jumping in in a game against the Avs.
Yeah.
And you can see teams in the offensive zone are like, the puck's going to Graves. Let him have it.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Or we know he's going to shoot. Like, his passing in the offensive zone has been bad. Like, when he actually does look to pass, which most of the time, his first shot is just get the puck on net, or his first thought. Yeah, I mean, he has been exposed, but realistically, I don't think any of us thought he was a top pairing defenseman. This is kind of a, they're waiting for the next guy to step up.
Yeah.
Like I said, even if Z has a great playoff, I think he's gone. And the big thing is, to me, he needs a role. And the thing that bugged me about game 2 is EJ went down and the Avs still just said, Z, this was their chance to, because they know that you can, even if it's in short spurts, because it's not going to last, you can get, if you give him a role, he'll focus on it for maybe a few weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And instead in game 2, I think he played 10 minutes in the whole game and was not noticeable at all. So, and then in game 3, they say, okay, you're with Gerard, here you go. And, he played great when he was in there. So he's not going to have that role moving forward, and they have young guys coming up. So it just doesn't, somebody's going to have to go. And you're looking at it at the point of view of, we have 2 young defensemen coming in. Would you rather have them play with Zadorov, or would you rather have them play with a veteran like Cole?
The one thing people point to pretty regularly with Z that I do think holds some water is he brings something a little bit unique when it comes to preventing zone entries against other teams. There's no one else on the Avalanche where the other team looks up in the neutral zone, sees it's Z gapping them, and says, nah, we're good.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that it comes immediately after. Because if they don't dump and change and they try and dump in and actually chase it, then he has to go back and he has to try and play with the puck.
1, win a puck. 2, get that puck to someone else.
Right. And like that he sucks under pressure with the puck.
Yep.
Like it's never gotten better. It's never developed. It's just not. It's not a thing. Yeah. For him, So like, yeah, it's great. He forces dump ins, and some guys dump it in, and they're like, "Oh God, no, I'm good." But there are other times where it's like they dump it in, and they go and they force him to play a puck, and they take the puck from him. You look at the very first game of this series. You look at the first goal that they scored. They put pressure on him, and it caused problems immediately. So I just. For me, you're comfortable with what both guys are, and what those guys aren't, and just the cost for Zadorov, just the raw cost. It's not cost efficient. If they were, not even arbitration eligible, and we're talking 3 or 4 years from free agency or something, just coming off an ELC. You could continue to keep them both around just fine. But we know Graves is going to get the big jump this year. He's probably going to get a multi-year deal. He's going to break into the multi-millions in terms of AAV. And Zadorov's just going to keep pushing closer and closer to 4, if not breaking it. So you just can't. And with EJ as more of like a middle pairing guy at $6 million, and Ian Cole as a third pairing guy making 4, that's too much money.
Yeah,
especially with the ELCs that you have with Timmins and Byram.
Yeah, and I really hope Graves' contract is not in the 3 to 4 year range. My issue is going to be term there, because I know that they really like him, but yeah, I think you got to be reasonable with term, especially knowing who's coming.
Yeah, and knowing that in a year you have an expansion draft where there's a decent chance Graves is the guy that Seattle looks to take out of there, and that might be one where you just say, hey, that's fine.
Someone's gonna get taken. So if it's Graves, it's Graves at that point. We can take our second period break here. Our new gaming sponsor, WGT Golf, over 20 million players around the world, and a bunch of them in the DNVR family. We have 3 clubhouses now, so head on over to DNVRgolf.com to download and search for DNVR3 to get in on all of the action with us. We have tournaments every single weekend where all 3 clubhouses vie to get the top spots. A lot of people to beat these days, so Bring your A game for the weekend tournaments. Be sure to jump on it. Play true-to-life courses like Bandon Dunes, Bethpage, Black, and many others as well. Stroke play, match play, closest to the hole, other options too. So come have a blast with us, whether it be on your computer, on your phone, however you want to play WGT Golf. And of course, Strava Craft Coffee. You can now get cold brew Strava Craft down at the DNVR bar. If you haven't been down yet, highly recommend you check that out. Or you can get it from StravaCraftCoffee.com and get 20% off when you use code DNVR20. Be sure to check out their subscription service as well. If you want to reorder, you can get 20% off every single time when you sign up for that. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche Podcast Free Skate Friday. Behind the scenes, our producer, Ali Monroy, has been looking up some unusual, interesting, incredulous objects on eBay, I imagine. And look at, there's the best option right there. That shirt is just a beauty. You can get it today at the DNVR Locker. You
can buy this shirt and the Sombor Shuffle at the DNVR Locker right downstairs if you come to the bar as well. So it's not just online.
There you go. Roll on down there, get your Strava Craft, get your DNVR Avalanche or Nuggets or Rockies or Broncos shirts all the way across the board.
Buddy, we're just trying to survive at location number 1 through a pandemic.
Yeah, big time.
Let us live through this first, man, and then we'll talk about the spring.
We opened this bar 3 days before the world shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've survived like curfews and riots and protests and like
all of it.
An ongoing pandemic that apparently we don't care enough to try and stop. So let's get through this one first, my man.
All right, I have some fun stuff to show you guys and see.
I'm not ready.
No one's at the bar, and yet everyone downstairs was screaming. So concerned a little bit. Okay, let's start with this object right here.
Canadian stand. Oh, okay. So Canadian. Got it.
But you got to tell me how much you think it is worth.
Why it has 68-69 on it, but it looks like straight out of the 90s with those sleeves.
What are those colors too?
They look like the Jamaican bobsled team.
It's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Penguins jacket at first or something.
But
those colors don't even make sense.
What is the material of this shirt?
Okay,
yeah, I'm going with Brad. I'm going with 7.
Oh, that's a shirt? Oh, I thought it was that looks like a jacket.
Sweater.
I thought it was the back of a starter
it's a sweater.
jacket.
It's a sweater.
Yeah, it's a sweater. Vintage 68-69 Montreal Canadian Stanley Cup winners sweatshirt. Authentics wear 1960 hipster hockey, genuine NHL size men, small.
I'm going with Brad. I'm going with 7.
What does 7 mean?
I don't know, but I think it's a great answer.
Someone said 23. What? You have to give me a price point on how much you think this is going for online right now.
7.
That sweater is so oddly shaped.
$29.99.
99 cents.
Everything was way more than I expected it to be last time, so I'm going to go $50.
$45. All right, are you guys ready?
No.
Come on, $7.
This sweatshirt is worth $370.
Oh,
what?
Shut up.
Adult language. Don't get me in trouble and yell at me when
I
you
quit.
do.
$370?
Yes, $370.
I quit.
We're in the wrong business. We need to jack up the price of our shirts by like a significant amount.
We need to make our shirts significantly uglier and lie about the years they came out.
All right, are you ready for the next one?
Someone needs to Photoshop the Canadiens jersey in those colors now.
Oh my god!
Like
people are excited about more adult language.
No, we have
we have
under
children.
we have like an under 15 audience to
It's
consider.
the
family
middle of the
podcast.
day. This is not DNVR After Dark.
Yeah, DNVR After Dark. You can't control what happens. Okay, next one.
I'm surprised Allie is willing to produce our show after DNVR After Dark.
Yeesh.
All
Hit
right,
it.
are you ready?
Let's do this. Okay.
That's
First,
the picture.
I can
that was
see way
you
too much in this picture.
Yeah.
That was the only picture I got. Literally, that's what was being
Oh
The
my gosh.
entire bottom half of this picture was totally.
We did not need the bottom half of that picture. Wow.
Someone's asking if that's Matt Calvert. Is
Yeah.
this Matt Calvert's jacket? Did that come right off Calvert's
This
back?
honestly, yeah.
What are those pants anyway? Like, are they flowers or?
Don't
Yeah.
focus on the pants.
looks
Give
right.
me the shirt.
How can you?
I'm sorry, but was this back in the day when cell phones were really big?
Oh my god! Drink more of my coffee.
It's just like they took one of those fancy old couches and made a pair of pants out of them. But
I gotta tell you, if Kira shows up at the bar wearing this, to any of our future watch parties,
It'll look way better on
It'll
her
be-
than it looks on this
it'll
guy.
exactly, it'll be the perfect addition.
it's got to be 8 times cheaper to buy an apple patch. And
Yeah,
one she already had.
I am not saying that out loud for people in the live.
That's
can see.
that's probably giving him too much credit.
You have tears.
All right.
All right, that's the price.
It's a pretty nice buttons. I'm gonna
It's
say
got 2 pockets.
yeah, $89.99.
Okay, $89.99. Evan, give me a price.
$249.99.
Okay, AJ.
I'm gonna go with $35.
And AJ is the closest, $45.
Dude, that's not even expensive.
I
One of y'all
know,
need to
that's
buy
why
that
I said Kira
immediately.
might actually get that. Look, we got 45. You were correct. Oh my goodness.
George has the real price though.
How well does that strip? Is the question, I guess.
Oh my god, I just saw what George said. These comments. All right, ready for the next one? Are
Yeah,
we ready for
Please,
the
please move on from that.
Get this off my screen.
next one? You're gonna make AJ spit.
Go. We already
too
have
good.
YouTube people asking for the link to buy that.
Oh. I don't. Okay. No, this one's for that one's for last. Sorry.
I don't
can't
even know
put
what
this
that
one on the
was.
chair.
Boxes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that one's later too. All right, we'll just do this one.
It's so. What is
What
it like?
is that?
All-star
Russian jersey?
I'll explain it to you. Give me 2 seconds. Let me find it. It's an ultra rare 90s Gretzky Coca-Cola official NHL jersey.
Man, that thing looks like it's paper thin.
Can I repeat my 35?
The dude put ultra rare in the title, so I bet he's
Yeah.
trying to sell it for like $500.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess $200.
$200. Okay.
I'll stick with 500.
500. Evan.
I was gonna go higher. When I heard ultra rare, I'm gonna say 1,100.
1,100. All of you are wrong.
So
This
like
jersey
$1.
is worth $7,928.95.
No way.
Yes, 7,000. Yeah, that's better. $7,928.95.
Okay, I will say I don't know if it's worth that because then somebody hasn't bought it yet.
There's zero way they get anyone to pay that price for that thing.
Yeah,
But it's ultra rare.
So it says Gretzky was the spokesperson for Coca-Cola for 3 years in the later 90s. This jersey has only been on the market once before in 2013, and it was sold for $999. This is a cleaner and better condition than the one sold. So because of that, they decided to charge
9 times cleaner and better condition.
Yeah, seriously.
Was the other one like covered in Coca-Cola? Actually,
Gretzky's spilling during the commercial. Oh crap!
Oh yes, Utes Avs fan was the closest.
7,500.
7,500.
It's like, yeah, if you just make up a number, you might be the closest based on this game so far.
Okay.
Man, that's wow.
Yeah. Wow is the best way to just
Gonna make a jersey.
That came out in
like-
2013. That doesn't even make sense. He had been retired for like 15 years.
No, it had only been on the market. It was on it came out in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And the only other time that jersey had ever been on the market was 2013.
Yes. What AJ said.
I'm gonna make a jersey that just says Rudo on it out of paper mache and sell it for $50,000 in 20 years.
There are Rudo shirts in existence already.
There are.
That's true.
One.
There are a couple.
I own one. All right, guys. How about this one?
Tie-dye 96 champs Avs starter.
Pretty
So
cool.
it's starters. That starter's legit at 96.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with $24.99.
Okay.
It's got the old NHL logo on it.
This looks like my dog puked on a shirt or something.
Dude, your dog pukes in tie-dye?
The Avs,
Well, see weird stuff,
fan
man.
base. The
We
Avs
got
fan base loves
$5.
their deadhead shirts, so I think it's a bit more expensive.
100% Matt Nieto would be the one to wear this.
$65. $326. It's not that expensive.
Yeah, there's no way. I'll say $49.99.
Okay, Evan.
$62.
$62. Evan was the closest.
That
$69.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to say that.
Oh, really? 59, not the other one.
Not nice.
Not nice, exactly.
Wow.
All right.
That's probably
Next-
Mosier's shirt or something.
Next one. I wish I could see which ones I'm bringing up. Oh, okay.
Oh,
With a little blow up
What is that?
Zamboni.
is that like a?
It's like tiny. Oh, it's
Very- It's called Very Cool NHL Colorado Avalanche Long Zamboni.
That means
You know what?
expensive.
I don't need your editorializing title.
very
Very
good.
cool. I will decide if it's very
It's
cool.
like-
Thank you.
It's like a stuffed thing, right? Like
How big is this?
it's like tiny. It's like on somebody's
it's-
desk.
Again, Very Cool NHL Colorado Avalanche 8-inch long Zamboni stuffed
8
machine.
inches.
Made by Good
I
Stuff.
found out what that guy stuffed his pants with now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
You are
Hammer
giving him
2.0.
far too much credit.
$15.
I was gonna say I've got 12.
12. All right, Evan.
19.
It is $11. I had to throw a cheap one in there. Okay. Okay. That one is gone. Hey. There some of these comments. All right. And
I like beauty is in the eye of the weed holder. That one.
no, already did this one. Oh no, I exited out of the box one.
Bring
Okay.
back the boxes.
Yeah. Is that your subtle way of firing one of us today?
No, that's her way
Your
of saying
stuff.
she's moving and needs help.
What is
She just
Hey,
moved
guys,
though.
can you help me? I did just move. All right, how much do you think this one is?
What is
What?
that?
What does it say at the bottom? The coolest.
The coolest game.
Coolest game on ice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Vintage 90s NHL
you-
Colorado Avalanche hockey retro spell out logo
Ooh.
long neon full zip jersey t-shirt. This is-
Well, I could have never guessed this was from the 90s.
Yeah, no
you hadn't
kidding.
told me. That's a jersey shirt, a button-up jersey all the way buttoned up.
Jersey T-shirt, yes.
But it's made out of like satin almost. It's not satin. There's no way.
Yeah, I do want to see. I
camo
want to see.
material.
I want to see Jared Bednar wear this one.
Oh God.
With his ripped.
That's what I'm saying. With
Yeah.
those guns, he would really flex out the. What is this like? Pink, purple?
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
light,
pink,
isn't
I
it?
think.
I mean, maybe the lighting. Maybe it's actually burgundy, and the lighting is just
200.
way light.
Got $20. So it's that this screams Russian Avs fan to me.
It's very Gopnik, definitely.
I've got $75.
I was gonna say 80. I'll say 90. I'll give him a little room.
All right, Evan.
I'm just having a hard time picturing this on a human being. Like the way that the arms look is just
I'm not.
throwing me off.
Mm-mm.
That's
This
because you
was
own
I'm
it,
sorry,
don't
this
you?
one wasn't put on a model like the jean jacket one was.
this
Well,
looks like something that
Okay, I'm okay with it.
one of the characters on Friends would have worn this.
No way.
I was
They
gonna
have
say
a
like
style.
Quagmire would wear this, but
Wow.
Yeah, Ross shows up at the Central Park or whatever in this.
Central Perk. Don't start with me. I'm a friend's
Uh,
Stan.
Yeah, Friends is not good.
Yeah, it's garbage.
it's not a good show.
I will go with
On the game
80
and stop with the negative comment.
$89.
I said 90, but okay.
Wow, you're gonna price this
Oh
right
wait,
in?
no.
I'm changing mine to
I wasn't-
$88
I
then. Let's do this.
All right,
I will
no matter what,
99 then.
all of you are wrong. It's $20.
It's that
What?
cheap. All right.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Now to finish the game off with
Now one of us gets fired with the boxes.
Yeah. pack your stuff.
So
Z
cards?
What
Those are cards, aren't
there
they?
are cards at the
Vintage.
top.
NHL hockey cards and some MLB baseball cards. Over 25,000 cards.
$12,000.
That says computer on it.
Where?
That top binder.
I don't know why it says that. How much money do you think this is worth?
This is a scam. Like those just four
yeah.
cardboard boxes. Like no
I've
one knows what's in there.
I've collected cards in my life, so like the actual value of this is probably like $5.
It's
But
a
what
rock
are they selling
tumbler
it
at the
for? I
bottom.
have no idea.
It says vintage. That's 10 grand.
20,000 cards? They said
25,000.
25,000.
25,000.
Cards go as far back as 1952.
Oh,
I'm
Okay.
gonna say something
All right.
ridiculous like $35,000.
Yeah. It's going back to 1932.
Yeah,
I'm going same. I'm going 25,000. $1 a card.
That's too much. Maybe like 50 cents. I'll do 15,000.
What does a card from 1932 look like?
It looks like that Honus Wagner card that's like ruined by bubblegum stains.
That's a really specific memory.
right.
That card's worth like $5 million by itself.
Do we
so-
have final answers? AJ, you said 25,000?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going
said-
35 G's.
I said 15.
35,000,
I'm on the low.
15,000.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Okay.
like $500.
Yeah, it's going to be something like free on the side of the road.
AJ or Rudo is the closest, $15,857. It does say
Wow.
there is easily $23,000 worth of cards in here, but
There's
they
no
went a little cheaper.
I bet you there's like maybe $2,000.
That's a man whose wife wants him to get rid of them.
99%
Yeah.
of that is worthless cardboard.
This
It
is
says-
like the sports version of 40-Year-Old Virgin when he was
Yeah.
selling all of his toys.
It says this is my entire sports card collection from when I started collecting in 1991. When I was young, I started collecting baseball cards until about 1995, then switched over to hockey cards.
Cards in the 90s are worthless. They way overprinted cards of all sports by like huge margins.
Ooh,
I
but
can't
there are a lot of great rookies and autographed cards on here. Many cards that can fill someone's old hockey card set. This is easily $23,000 worth of cards. I'm going to send all of the cards that are $10 or higher to get graded, but never did. If you need more screenshots of certain sets of cards, I can try to show you.
This guy's really not selling anyone on this.
There's
Like,
no you don't make money by selling cards in bulk. If you have value cards, you sell them.
Especially when they're in a box like this and you don't highlight the cool cards that you might have.
Yeah, are there no other pictures of this collection? This is literally it, where he's like, "Yeah, just trust me. There's 25,000 of those things in
She's
there."
gonna hit the next one. It's gonna be like a Gretzky rookie card, and we're gonna be like, "Oh,
No, it's going to be a Ben Guite rookie card.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, that doesn't count the same.
Oh, can you see that? So that's
Kind
the
of.
other picture.
what?"
Rare find. There's only one of these in stock.
Etsy, he drew all those cards himself.
A 1952 card of some no-name dude I saw. Yeah, that's
Look, it's total collection value $0.
it's yeah.
I don't know what any of this means, but this one says total collection value
21,000 Canadian, first of all. So that's less American. And
I just really think they'd really hurt themselves by not like showing some of their.
yeah,
cool
there's
cards.
no.
Yeah.
Why would you? I saw this and saw $15,000, and I was like, "Excuse me, what?"
Those
That
are
box-
some really nice boxes.
That box on the right is open and it looks empty.
It does. Oh my gosh, this is
Very, very interesting. Oh, we'll do this last one since it's funny. Oh no, same thing. Sorry.
It's still funny.
So funny.
you gonna bring up that guy's rig again.
This one. Stop it.
What is this?
His rig.
Why is that a Ducks logo on Avs colors?
AJ and Evan, I'm gonna boot you. Sometimes I feel like a literal school teacher with you guys. I'm like, hallway now, we're done. Jesus.
Look, all right, this one can't be worth more than like $15 because it has bootleg in the title.
Bootleg. Yeah. This is some guy made this at home.
Can we get a close up of that logo? I see that picture over there.
The top.
No,
looks
go
like
back.
it's-
Yeah, what is that?
The jacket looks like it's for a 3-year-old, and the bottoms are for like a grown-ass person.
There's the measurements. It's-
This is for the disproportionate. Oh my God.
Yes, the price.
I have no torso, so I'm going to purchase this.
It's an actual starter jersey with just like duck stuff sewed onto it.
Mighty Ducks.
Oh my.
$20.
This is $9.
It's $32.
$32. Let's see the comments. 186. It's perfect. I would 1,000. I don't 10,000% ski in that. I feel like the DNVR car needs to buy some of these and frame them for their wall. Someone else that I'm blind. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah. You're not just going to cut to a picture of that guy, are you?
No, I'm not bringing.
300. Oh my goodness.
Shut
It
the
is $300.
But he admits it's a bootleg.
Returns not accepted.
Jacket. Oh, I thought it said it will fit a boy, but it says boxy.
Oh my god, it'll fit like a boxy 2XL.
Oh,
But,
damn,
but
like
the
a true
but the
2XL?
pants are true to 2XL. Oh my
This
god.
item may take some time to prepare. Why?
He's still
Yeah.
making it.
What's the
What the-
Goodness.
Amazing.
A bootleg. God.
I also had these in there.
free shipping though? It better be free shipping after the guy has to prepare it.
Wow.
Do you know how much this one would be?
$30 maybe? Or are those like the super expensive ones? I don't know.
Guys,
Vintage. It says vintage. Oh, it's
Yeah.
McFarlane.
damn it! I just showed the
I'm
picture.
gonna
$80.
79.29.
$79.29.
I almost did adult language there.
Wow.
But here you go.
Yeah. Rig Master.
Oh, he's got multiple
Yeah, there's
pictures
more
on there?
pictures back there. Hold
Yeah,
on.
all is showing.
Oh. Lee.
What a champ.
No other.
Wow.
no other-
Wow.
Length 24 inches.
Just disappointed we don't get all the sizes.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, well,
It was a cold day.
that one's been very cool. And then that's all I got for you guys.
Hold on. I got one more.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god!
Yes.
For the low price of $89.99, and that's before you use code DNVR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. You can get your perfect package 3.0 from Manscaped. Jump on it right now. Help support us over here at DNVR. Help support your package as well with their amazing underwear, their trimmer, their spray-on toner, their deodorant. You name it. They'll take care of you top to bottom. Again, manscaped.com to order DNVR20 to get your 20% off.
I tell you, our denim daddy should have been wearing those
The Manscaped box briefs there.
boxers.
Marty, yeah, we've seen too much. There's no imagination left.
Anyways, you can also purchase this shirt at the DNVR Locker.
Get that one. Get the new Kale one we just came out with too. Bunch of awesome Avs shirts on the market now. So highly recommend those as well if Manscaped isn't your thing.
I feel like we need to keep the picture of that denim jacket, and then every time we say denim daddy, just flash that up there.
Am I allowed to make that the thumbnail for this?
Just cut the bottom, yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, nice.
All right.
Is this
put myself
podcast over? I gotta
into
go
this
put acid in my eyes.
That's all we got for you today, everybody. Thank you for hanging out live or after the fact. If you are listening, you just have to check us out on YouTube to see the amazing images that we showed everyone. So be sure to give it a look.
Oh yeah, people listening as a podcast, this segment did not work.
Tough day
them.
for you.
Yeah.
They probably had a better day than us who had to look at that.
Yeah, it's true. Go watch the live.
There you go. So, yeah, that's going to do it. Avs play Sunday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time officially. So, if you want to go on down to the bar, I'm sure we have our event up for that already. Be sure to RSVP.
Yes. Just a quick note for people who already RSVP'd for the game that was supposed to be tonight. Of course, that Eventbrite was switched to Sunday. You are still RSVP'd if you already RSVP'd. Does that make sense?
Yep. Your spot is still reserved. It's just on Sunday now.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, come on down, watch the game. Obviously, we'll have our post-game stuff afterward, as we always do. So while we go, all rest our eyes and try to save our sanity, I guess, at this point. We're going to wrap up the show. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, however you consume. And you will hear from us again on Sunday.